it in, losers. We're going to talk about Halloween.
Welcome in, my passengers, to a very special episode. Prepare to hold your niches while we take your riches.
Wait, we getting paid?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, let's take their riches then.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Welcome to a very spooky episode of Blerdy Couple Things. Happy Hallows Eve.
Happy Hallows Eve.
Yes. So, darling, tell me. I don't know if I'll keep this accent the whole episode, but I do like Eliza.
I'm willing to let you drop it in a few seconds.
You're willing to let me drop my accent?
Yep.
I need your permission.
In 3, 2, 1.
Okay, whatever.
Hey.
Submission at its best, say I'll. So, happy Halloween. I think it's Halloween today. We're going to post. We'll see. Now, you want to tell the people history of Halloween? What is Halloween, everyone?
For those who may not have actually grown up in the Western world in any capacity.
Or Seventh-day Adventists.
Or that. Halloween, aka All Hallows Eve, is a celebration that's observed on the 31st, the last day of October. And it has its, I guess, origins in the fact that this is the one time in the year when the calendar starts to set where we are closer to the spiritual world per se, but it's actually when the seasons are changing. And fall is really kicking off. We're about to engage in winter expeditions. And for those who want a darker history about Halloween, think about Salem in New York. Think about Massachusetts. Think about how they were innocent women and girls who were persecuted for being witches, all based on racism, sexism, and wolfism. But hey, we're all talking about putting down women. And as a result of that, a couple of centuries later, we get a holiday. We could dress up as ghouls and demons.
And women, if we choose.
That part.
Yes. And then just to piggyback off of Halloween, you have Dias de la Muertes, the day after.
Yes, the day of remembering the
now,
dead. Yes.
Dias de la Muertes is a Mexican traditional holiday where they celebrate the ancestors. Folklore says if you have an altar, they decorate the altars of their fallen ancestors with pictures. They bring them food. What is it? They bring them food, flowers, as well as like little trinkets here and there.
They'll bring their favorite dishes that their family members would honestly enjoy while they were alive. That way, they would also leave out the orange flowers. I can't remember the name right now, but the whole purpose is that you're guiding your loved ones back to the world they're living to remember them. And the idea is that if your loved one's ever forgotten, the last time you remember them, that's when they are forgotten forever. And so Dia de los Muertos is a time where you can honor all of your relatives and ancestors and keep them alive and keep them with you.
Yes, they depicted that very well in the Disney movie Coco.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
Coco!
That's such a good song.
Honorable mention, Book of the Dead.
For sure,
yes. Love those movies. Love those animated movies.
And also on Halloween, for the spiritual community, it also says that's where the veil drops, where the dead can walk amongst the living in the plain.
That's why Michael Jackson was so successful with his Thriller music video.
For sure. Oh, no, he was definitely channeling some ancestors. For sure. So on this very spooky episode, we're just going to free ball. We're going to have a few Halloween pit stop questions, as well as go into some of our folklore. I'm super excited. I believe Wednesday is coming back. That's one of our favorites that we fell in love with last year.
Yes.
Jenna Ortega. Her freaking career is skyrocketing off this. We just saw Beetlejuice, which was good.
Beetlejuice 2, y'all.
Yeah, we talked about it at one of our episodes already, but Beetlejuice was good. I thought it was going to come out a little bit closer to Halloween just so it could really pick up, but they probably didn't have budgeting to be out that soon, but
I mean, it was a great film. We definitely got to go back and watch that ending again. But overall, I think it was a really well done sequel.
It was.
And one of the things, I think we mentioned this before, but the creators said that we are going to keep the magic of the original and not have Beetlejuice be on screen longer than he was in the original film. Because, again, if you're trying to recreate lightning and magic, don't overdo it. Stick to what you did the first time, why the fans loved it so much.
Yeah. So, babe, what's your favorite folklore when it comes to, you know, the Mysterio, the paranormal?
Honestly, I gotta take it back to the monsters. Right?
I know where you're
I gotta
going
stay with the
this.
monsters. So like for me, it's like I always saw the monsters as these are people from back then who were ostracized from their communities, and we could not explain why they have these behaviors. And so if you were not someone who was a part of the general population, the accepted community, you saw and could relate in these monsters who were just atypical.
Yeah. Who would be your monster?
If I had to pick the scariest monster, honestly, it's werewolves. It's werewolves all day. Screw vampires. I hate how America has fallen in love with vampires this past decade and change. I can't stand vampire movies, but put a werewolf in there. The werewolf has messed up that vampire. Oh, yes. I'm there.
That just kind of shows what kind of man you are. You got that dog in you.
I hate vampires. No.
But we love the romance and the forever and never-ending love of what a vampire. I don't know. I just like the romance.
Here is my version of vampire movies that actually sell.
Okay.
Blade.
Okay.
Blade 2.
Oh,
Blade 3.
Wow. Okay.
Underworld.
Okay.
And the Underworld series, and that's it.
So you just like gruesome shit. You don't like the romantic.
No.
You're such a boy.
No. The only romantic one is when you put me on to Netflix's Interview with a Vampire. That was good. When they were talking about New Orleans and the gore.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Yeah, but then you checked out when it came to the whole, homosexual relationship. But
I just needed these dudes to kill each other. I did not need anything else.
Yeah.
I did not need anything else.
He wasn't here for the novella, but the writing was very well.
It was decent. I just wanted more fights.
Yeah.
I wanted a werewolf to pull up and be like, listen, bloodsuckers.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been drawn to the paranormal, just in general. Definitely folklore. I love the witch folklore. I love American Horror Story franchise. They're different covens. Like sometimes Ryan Murphy, he be dragging it though. Yeah. Just low key. He always has to remind us that he's homosexual, which is great. Like, because, homosexuals exist and this is a world where, men sleep together.
LGBTQI.
Yeah, all day. But I'm like, sir, every single season there's some type of sodomy or some type of something going on.
Wait, that's happening in American Horror Story?
There's always some type of something going on.
Really?
If you know, you know. Yes.
I never tapped in. It was just not my sauce.
I think he lost me when he did the one with Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga's in American Horror Story?
Yeah, she's in one of the arcs. Which one was it? I think it wasn't Asylum was so freaking good. It was Madhouse or the Hotel or something like that. Some Hotel Rwanda shit. Not Hotel Rwanda, but it was of that times. Yeah. Yeah, that's when he started to lose me. It started getting too dark. And then all his freaking Glee characters started dying.
Dude that was doing Glee?
Yes.
Wait, so Glee was done by the same guy who did American Horror Story?
Yes, Ryan Murphy.
Oh, wow. Those are two polar opposites.
Yeah, because he sacrificed his souls for the success of American Horror Story.
That makes sense.
That's my theory. Pero all three of them, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's always in threes.
Okay.
It's always in threes.
Okay. You know it.
May they rest in peace, but like it's always in threes.
It's always in threes. So there's a little, that's like some background to folklore. But that's always been my thing. Let me see here.
So let's get back to monsters real quick because you lost me with that American Horror Story.
Yeah, I did.
So let me ask a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Would you rather fight a giant spider in its horde of spiders or a pack of werewolves?
Shit. So either I'm fighting some Hogwarts spiders or I'm fighting Jacob and his crew like that. Shit. Because I'm like, okay, am I in this universe or an alternate universe? I need to know
This one. For the sake of this question, this one.
It's just me by myself?
Just you by yourself. I'm not there because I'm not going to be in that room.
Wow.
It's you.
A giant, you said giant spiders?
A giant spider in its horde. Like it just hatched a lot of eggs. They all hatched. It's time to eat. Or a pack of werewolves. And by a pack, I don't mean 3. I mean 12.
Okay, you're doing it either way. It's instant death for me.
Oh, it's instant, but how instant do you want it?
All right, fine. I'll just take the giant spider and hoping that I'll get impaled and poisoned so my death is quick. Because I can outrun 12 fucking werewolves.
Well, you do realize that spiders don't actually kill
they preserve and they kill us. I know. But you gave me no option of hope.
There was none. There was. Just choose how you die. Slow and painful or gruesome and fast.
Or fast and quick.
Yup.
Damn, I guess I'll take slow and painful second.
I'll take that fast and quick because if I survive, I'm going to be a werewolf. I'm joining that pack. I'm joining that pack.
Yo, and you say I'm a furry? You're a low-key wannabe furry.
Nah. We are not backtracking a couple episodes ago. Let's stay on track. I think that wanting to dress up as and be a furry is entirely different from saying, if werewolves existed, I'd be a werewolf. It's entirely different.
I just feel like there's some underlying love for werewolves there. That's just
I have
unaddressed.
a love for canines in general. Do I want to sleep with them? No. Do I want to imagine myself as them? No. I'm not dressing up as a dog for Halloween. No.
Okay.
You, on the other hand, madam,
wow,
the furries.
Absolutely not. See, now you ain't finna do this. No, ma'am.
Anyway, let's switch gears because this is about to get real violent.
Clearly. All right, baby. Next question. Do you think that you would survive a zombie apocalypse?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Why?
I saw Zom 100, an anime about a zombie apocalypse, and man, that was gruesome. Like, honestly, the way Zom 100 depicted the zombie apocalypse, its modern take on it was really well done. Like, think about it. Like, a virus that's airborne is randomly choosing who is infected and who's not, and you don't know who is infected until after the first signs, and everybody's always covering up the first signs. I don't trust people. I really don't. Like, let's say I'm in a group and we think that we're gonna like thug it out and survive. One of you gets infected, you kept that secret from us? Nah, I have trust issues. I would either be by myself, or I would be by myself, or I'd be by myself. And like, I'm not gonna survive if I'm by myself, really.
Y'all see how he did not include me all 3 times in his I'll be by myself?
You would have already been a zombie, and unfortunately, it would have been some I Am Legend moment. Put you down, not your misery. I love you.
Wow.
But you ain't making it. You ain't making it.
This episode is so telling. We gonna see if Sly Cooper Fox is here second season. Because, wow, first of all, the fact that you don't think I would survive.
What are your skills?
First of all, my hand-to-hand combat is solid, okay?
What hand-to-hand combat?
Sean, I don't fight you because there's no reason why I would have to fight you.
This is true.
However, ask my brothers in there. I could hang. Hello.
Okay, so
I have great
you're not going to risk a hand-to-hand in a zombie apocalypse because they can bite you and infect you.
No, duh. Don't you watch Walking Dead?
No, I don't watch Walking Dead.
And this is why he would be by himself and he would die. He wouldn't make it to season 6. We already know. First of all, you need to have a good skill. You have good hand-eye coordination, so you would want to get an axe, a bow and arrow. Yes. You're good at that.
I'm good at that. We've been to axe throwing stuff before. That's what I'm saying. I would survive a little bit. You were not that good.
You definitely, first of all, I said hand-to-hand close combat. I can fight. Okay. I can get in there.
Okay.
And I have brute strength. Come on now.
Okay.
The only thing that would fuck me up is my vision. If my contacts fall out, I'm done. If I can't find glasses, I'm done.
Okay, Velma.
I'm done. But I would give him a fight. Okay?
So you gave so many reasons why I think you would not make it, Velma.
Well, Sean, you being a solo dolo person, you need a team. You need allies. I'm a great networker. I would have a great team, and we'd be safe. We're safer in numbers. You by yourself, a big group comes sees you, they're going to kill you and take your shit.
But you're so empathetic. You would let somebody who's bruised make it through.
No, I am not. This is the apocalypse. I don't know you like that, sir. If you are a child, maybe. But them little babies,
no exceptions.
Those little babies,
no exceptions. They become the hybrid monsters. No exceptions.
Listen,
I don't have to watch Walking Dead to know a baby whose turn is
going to end up a young child who's by themselves got separated. It's my natural instinct to want to help them.
They can survive on their own if they found them.
Wow, Sean. You're just really telling right now. I used your whole name. You're just really telling. Who are you?
Anyway.
Oh my God. Next question.
I'm not surviving this zombie apocalypse.
Clearly. I don't think our relationship is not surviving this zombie apocalypse. Jesus. Oh my God. Let's hope not. Well, the way the world is acting.
You know what? Let me choose the next question.
Please
Let's make it lighthearted.
Yeah.
What was your favorite childhood Halloween memory?
Well, growing up, we weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween because I was Seventh-day Adventist. So it is so funny too. All the kids in the neighborhood knew not to come to my house because after the first year we moved, my mom put a piece of paper saying, "This is so Haitian. We do not celebrate Halloween." Mind you, I think she made either me or my brother write it. My older brother. We do not celebrate Halloween. God be blessed with you. Taped it to the door. All the lights were off. Don't come over here now. So everybody knew just to skip our house after a while.
That is so sad.
I mean, it is what it is. So,
That's your favorite childhood memory?
But I'm getting to the memory.
Okay.
Because you let me cook. So when Halloween would happen, we weren't allowed to play outside and stuff like that. My mom would pray. And then she would let us watch TV, in our rooms. And I would watch Disney Halloween movies, like Halloween Town. And usually I would have candy from school, or my mom will bring home candy because it's on sale or whatever. And, we would all eat popcorn and candy and just watch movies. So that was like my Halloween thing, even though I didn't get to dress up. But, that was like, I just remember being happy watching candy and watching scary movies and eating candy and stuff, because my mom never like brought us candy ever at home. So when we get it, it was like a treat. So yeah.
See,
that's my favorite one.
My favorite memories are twofold, because I remember a time when it wasn't safe to trick or treat as a kid.
Oh, true.
And I remembered right before when it was still safe. And I dressed up as Goku.
Oh, you did?
I had the whole hat, wig, and everything. And
what?
I remember trick or treating, getting a lot of candy, and then coming back home in time to watch the Disney Halloween Town movies. So I was like, that's my Halloween. Then when it wasn't safe that much, after my sister was born, we didn't celebrate Halloween that much going out, but I remember sitting around Disney Channel or Nickelodeon and watching cartoons too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Shout out to the 90s and the early 2000s. What an era of TV.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What was your favorite TV Halloween special that you remember?
Oh, man. I feel like my favorite TV special has always been Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossovers.
Oh.
Those were hilarious, well done, but like there was never a Halloween themed one. I just liked them.
Yeah.
Halloween themed ones, they were trash. They were one shots. The only decent one was the That's So Raven one, but that's about it.
What? This is where our age gap starts to show.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was Lizzie McGuire's Halloween theme, which was super cute. It's more girl-esque.
Yeah, I was like, Lizzie McGuire, I saw that and it wasn't that cool, but go on.
Yeah, it was good for me. I like it because they talked about Dias de los Muertos too.
Yeah.
What else was my other? I really used to love the Alvin and the Chipmunk Halloween special.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, with the werewolf and Frankenstein. Yeah, tap in.
Yes. Okay, I stand corrected. The Alvin and the Chipmunks Halloween specials, because when they had all three of the big bad monsters. Yes.
Yeah, and the spookies and the shows. Yes. And obviously, Scooby-Doo, hello. Zombie Island, that was my shit. That game
wasn't Halloween,
nightmares.
that was year round.
But
they had the different, like they had the witch movie.
Yeah,
they had
the zombie
cyber movie.
The zombie Louisiana.
Yeah, that
was
cyber
good. Movie freaked me out too. I didn't like it.
Great.
I didn't like that one.
I like the video game that spawned because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on the island with Scrappy Doo, and they made Scrappy evil.
Yes. Making Scrappy evil was perfect because his little ass was so annoying.
Hey, that's my friend Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Oh, the Scrappy Doo spin-off series was so annoying. I preferred a pup named Scooby-Doo.
A pup
that was the show.
Yeah, that was good. Oh man, let's see here. I'm tapping. I just want to watch Halloween Town stuff.
I want to watch a pup named Scooby-Doo now.
Yeah, I need some pumpkin spice lattes. Okay.
You missed me with that last one.
What? Okay. What do you think is the creepiest? What do you think is the creepiest creature from mythology? Because we both love mythology. What is your favorite? The creepiest.
I don't understand a chupacabra. To be honest, because it's like it's the goat eater, but it's like it's small enough that if it were real, its numbers would increase to the point that it would decimate livestock populations and start attacking humans.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to me that it should have been a small child eater.
Yeah.
Not a goat eater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Krampus. Krampus is so dark.
What is Krampus? Because that's the one I'm not familiar with.
So,
am I supposed to be Santa Claus or something?
It's the evil version of Santa. It's the evil version of Santa. So back in the day, I mean like, I want to say 1200s, maybe even before that, they had the opposite version of Saint Nicholas, where Krampus was an evil, demonic, half human, half goat, who he would kidnap evil kids and put them in his sack and whip them and take them back to his lair and traumatize them to the point where they wanted to be good kids that following season. Sometimes he ate them. Sometimes he would brew them in different potions and put the bones back in their beds where they once were. Like Krampus was evil to the point where I was like, forget getting coal. for Christmas. I don't want to see Krampus.
Ooh, I love that.
They even had a movie about it, but man, Krampus was the satanic version of Santa. Oh man.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
That's
yeah.
my little dark mythology right there for you.
Okay.
What about you?
Let me see. Both of mine are feminine. One is like the one that everybody knows about, Gorgons, Medusa.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say satyrs, or even like what's the witch? What's the witch that's always screaming?
A banshee. I was thinking banshee.
I was thinking
at
you were gonna
first.
say a banshee.
I was thinking it, but it's not really creepy to me.
Well, Teen Wolf version of Banshee was really creepy.
Okay.
With Lydia.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, they switched up a little bit.
Yeah.
But okay. So Gorgons, famous one, Medusa, right?
Yep.
Obviously, it was Medusa was raped by someone in the castle or the king or someone, and then they blamed her and they chopped off her head or something like that. And the snakes, I'm seeing your face. Something happened.
Do you want me to give the Greek mythology?
Yes, because I forgot.
What happened was that she was one of the most beautiful women in the world, and she actually stole the favor of Poseidon. And because of that, his wife was very jealous and she cursed her. And so she changed her into her hair and locks becoming snakes. Some depictions of her as half of her body is a snake. So she's like that half human, half snake species. Others is just she has the body of a human, but the hair of snakes. And every time she would make eye contact with you, you'd be turned to stone.
Yeah. That's one version. But the other version I heard is she was raped and then she did a spell to make her more powerful, and her hair is turned into snakes. So then any male she like targeted would turn into stone.
It just speaks to the volume of like all of these old stories. When they talk about women, they were just women who had their power taken or something.
Yeah, and they're overcoming it.
Yeah.
Speaking of power taken in women, my other creepiest creature that I think of is a succubus.
Oh gosh, you and your anime, yo, no,
it's not an anime.
The succubus,
the succubus. She's a female demon, supernatural entity who appears in dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. AKA she be snatching souls.
Yeah, she was the one who invented the Gawk Gawk 3000. Before it was Gawk Gawk.
So she uses the semen and the testosterone of her victims to fertilize her eggs. She's super horny all the time. And honestly, I do believe the succubus is real. I don't see it as like a ghost or like a actual person per se, but it is a spirit now.
You see it as women or even men could be possessed by
us,
spirit.
like that succubus spirit. And I don't think.
Well, that's why we have sex workers. Well, if that's the case.
I don't think men are possessed by succubus spirit. I feel like when it comes to the certain like that type of feminine energy would possess a female. I feel like sexual entities
think about the
different ones are on men.
We just mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah,
literally how the creator of American Horror Story always has to have a sodomy scene, as you claim.
Yeah,
I think it could also possess. It doesn't matter your gender. If you want to take on that sexual nature, that it's not even like you're pleasing your partner. It's more of you are using sex as a weapon.
Yeah,
I think both genders can do it.
Valid point. Valid argument. I can see that. But in my mind, I see a succubus being
stereotypically
from a woman.
Yeah.
So I thought that is weird.
Actually, speaking of succubus, let's take it biblical. You remember the very first version of Eve, aka Lilith?
Yeah.
And how she was banished from the garden and became the definition of the succubus and the devil's wife?
Yeah. She also represents the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Hecate.
Yup. And it's just crazy how another woman who just happened to have a mind of her own became this evil creature.
Very true. History's telling.
I'm sensing a thread here.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going now. Women are persecuted all over the world for everything. Now we're going back into modesty nature, as well as everyone's getting super skinny again. Thick is not in. Things are changing.
Oh, Zempic.
Get your body done. That's funny. Let me see. Is it my turn to?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather be cursed or haunted?
What's the difference? Because we just saw Agatha and remember how, don't want to spoil it too much, but one of the witches in the coven has a generational curse and it's always been haunting her family. So what would you define as a curse or a haunting?
Okay. When I think of that, I think of Klaus, a haunting like Klaus.
Oh, Klaus from Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, like how he would see spirits and he's just always haunted by his gift and he would like drink and do all these other things.
So
just
is that not a curse?
Well, technically it is a curse. Okay, so I feel like a curse, I see curse as more of a bad luck. Like every time you try to do something goes down. Like, oh, it's never going to happen. Or like all the men in the family die at age 21. Like that kind of thing. First one, that's a curse. Like you just can't get through it. Versus being haunted, like you can't sleep without seeing shit. You can't go places without seeing shit. So it's like, you know?
The line is being blurred a little bit, but I think if I'm going off your definition of a haunting is I'm constantly being berated by visions of the other side or something's trying to get rid of me versus a medical or something is going to happen at a certain time. Like it's a ticking time bomb. All right. I could, dang. I'll take the curse.
Yeah.
I'll take the curse. Because if the curse is not going to affect me until a certain age, then I'll do it. But does the curse have to kill me?
It could.
Dang.
Come on, you see Black Clover.
Yeah. Well, some curses like change your life forever. Like remember
it can be broken.
the leader of the
Blue Rose. Yeah.
Dang. I'll stick to my answer. I'll take a curse.
Okay.
What about you? A curse or a haunting?
Curse for 100, Alex. Let me see. You know, just to be combative, I think I'll be haunted. I'll be like, hey.
Are you kidding me? You're the same. Okay, you know what? Let's bring up that old conversation we had about hauntings. Let's bring it up.
What?
I'm going to bring up a different question. You're going to remember it off rip.
Okay.
Because you saying hauntings is wild. It's wild based on what
I
you said
was like,
last
I could
time.
be friends with Casper or something.
Okay. So here's some context, y'all. Like earlier this week, Val asked me a really random question, and it relates to this. She said, would you be willing to, for an entire year, have vivid nightmares haunt you every day? And then after the year's up, you can obtain these unbelievable riches. And I said, hell yeah. Give me them nightmares. Let me have them waking horrors because I'll write a book about it, make myself the next Stephen King, and that's my riches, guaranteed. So I'm hearing you say you want to be haunted for I don't know how long.
Yeah, I remember.
You were the one who said, I can't take seeing the dead like that. It would mess with me. I would be in a mental asylum afterwards. I was like, please. That is gold, baby.
Okay, now I remember my actual response. Okay. So when Sean dreams, he dreams, but sometimes he barely doesn't even remember his dreams. Like it's very like black. I don't know. Do you dream in color or black and white?
If I do remember a dream, it's in color. But every day for months, for years actually, it's just black. I see black. I knock out. I wake up. Boom.
Yeah. So me, every time I close my eyes, whether it's for like 20 minutes or 20 hours, I am actively, vividly deep REM sleep dreaming. Like on the other side, full on color dreaming. So to be haunted in my dreams for like consistently for a year, because whenever I have a nightmare or a bad dream now, it throws me off.
Yeah, that's always like you were willing to be haunted.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You know, so then like thinking about it, I'm like, all right, I'm a hypocrite. But I was thinking like Casper following me around. I'm like, you know, like, okay.
The definition of a haunting is not a friendly spirit all the time. You're hoping for a friendly spirit. That's hitting the lottery.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you about, here's what happens in the afterlife. And I can't tell you about what happens in the great beyond because I haven't crossed over yet. But like, I can phase through stuff.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
No, you're right.
Actually, let me take the next question. What's your favorite Halloween themed food?
I remember first grade core memory when we would make spiders out of marshmallows and pretzel sticks and like raisins as the eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna go make some with JC tonight.
Sure, that sounds very cute.
Yeah. What about you?
Bobbing for apples.
Oh shit! I never actually bob for apples. Ain't no black woman gonna bob for no apples. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Not if I got to wash and go. Not if I have a sew-in, some braids. You may be with some braids, but
put the bonnet cap on and keep it pushing.
Bonnet cap in public? I think not. Yeah, no.
Whatever.
Black. Y'all send me a picture of a black girl bobbing for apples, and if she wasn't at a white frat party,
she had braids.
She had braids or something. I don't know. I've never seen no black people.
Maybe she had her hair up in her hair tie, just like, okay, let me do this real quick. Pull my hair up and go.
Guaranteed it wasn't a press out unless it was just a 4C natural fro. I'm telling you, no sisters bobbing for no apples.
Okay.
All right, let me ask you the next one.
Sure.
Let's see.
It don't gotta be too dark. It could be lighthearted, please.
This is not that lighthearted. What's the worst way to die in a horror movie?
Oh gosh. Okay, let's do the comedy spin-off horror movie version, and then let's do the really like gripping. Oh gosh. If I was in like a Wayne's Brother comedy movie or even The Blackening, I'd want to die where. Remember Scary Movie 2, where he was rolled up by this
the
weed plant
and was smoked.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Good way to die.
Or when the butler in his weak hand, he was like, "Come grab my hand," and you're leaning on the ledge like, "Nope, I'd rather go," and you die that way. Yo, that's funny. I'll die that way.
Oh my God.
But if it's like a legit horror movie where I can choose my death, I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered. Let it be gruesome. Let me be dismembered.
Oh my God.
I want to be dismembered so I could be like fighting it like, yo, nah, like don't forget me.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's a no for me, Alex. Wow, gruesome.
Who's Alex?
You know how like The Price is Right?
Oh man, he rest in peace. I'm pretty sure he died too, sadly.
Let me think. What's the most fucked up way to die? No, you know, that's the thing.
There's actually a YouTube series dedicated to that. Remember before COVID, it was like 1,001 Ways to Die. And it was these little animated creatures, and they would like sing and song like, you could die on a plane. You could die.
That was a TV show too.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I think in a horror movie, the worst way to die is when the bitch is running from the man. He keeps tripping and falling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like you're just waiting for her to go. Like, come on, sis. Like, get up, run. But the bitch keeps on falling, looking back. Girl, do not look back. Yes, he's behind you.
So running away.
Run. Focus on the plot line. I'm like, look at the floor. I need you to lift up the feet and run. Like, I hate it. It's like when they did all that shit just to run. Or like say, I hate it when the movie's cut off where they run off and they catch him or whatever. And then all of a sudden they cut the corner and then you turn around and they take that deep breath like, yeah, I'm safe. And then turn around, the guy's standing right behind them.
Jump scare.
Jump scare. Because it scares me too. Because I'm really fidgety too.
Well, you know what? Let's level it up real quick. Let's level it up. So let's get a little mental.
Okay.
Do monsters represent our deepest fears or desires in the human psyche? What do you think? Because I mentioned a little bit earlier about them being atypical.
I think both. Because humanity is comprised of light and dark, good wolf, bad wolf, yin yang. So we each have like that balance. So I do think it represents, especially like, you know, these villains. When I look at villains, I was just thinking about, because really villains were heroes, but who just never got their redemption. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we all have light and dark in us. So I think it's very interesting, like the type of people that we turn into.
I agree.
You know, think about like werewolf culture.
Yep,
That's your favorite. Like you'll see a werewolf, someone who usually the people who become werewolves were weaker humans, right? Or some type of insecurity. Now they're this strong person. And it's also a pack animal. So, you know what I'm saying?
That actually reminds me of that movie we were watching. No, the series on Amazon Prime. What was that series where they were in Boston? And it's the American version of the British version of the show. But they're in Boston. And it's a vampire, a werewolf.
Oh, yes.
And the third person is a ghost.
Being human.
Yes.
That was my
perfect segue into this question.
Yeah.
Being human. Yes.
Yeah, that was my show.
Tell me more about that show because, oh, man, you actually got me into it.
Yes, y'all. Being Human, it came out in the early 2000s. I've been on this early 2000s kick where I'm feeling like very nostalgic. It's about these three roommates in Boston. These two roommates who work at a hospital together, Aiden and Josh. Josh is a werewolf, Aiden's a vampire. And they buy a house in Boston. They figure out they're each supernatural. So they're like, okay, we can live together. Obviously, we know vampires and werewolves are natural born enemies. But, you know, there's always some type of vegan freaking vampire. So he's vegan. So all he drinks is like animal blood, but he can't drink wolf blood. So they rent this house in Boston. But little do they know that Sally, the ghost, was killed by her fiance in that house. So she's been haunting her house, but she's a ghost. She didn't realize she was a ghost. And obviously no humans can see her. But because they're supernatural, Josh and Aiden, thank you. Josh and Aiden can see her because they're supernatural. So all of a sudden, they all start living together, going through their woes and stuff. It's just like your cool roommate ensemble. Sally's learning more things about being on the astral realm. Obviously, Aiden's older than all of them and teaches them things. And Josh, he was turned as a werewolf by accident. And he hates who he is. Like, he's very like trying to convert himself back. He was going to be a doctor, but then he like stopped going to medical school to be an orderly. Just because he felt like his life was over, just because he accidentally got turned into a werewolf during a camping incident. This is why I don't go camping.
You went camping.
I know I did.
Well, my thing is that when I picked up on the show, Aiden originally was like this demonic bloodsucker who was like killing people left and right, but he wanted to try and find love, and so he went vegan. But he didn't even go vegan. Like, he was running this like secret ring where, because he worked in the hospital, he would dig into their blood bank and steal stuff for the other vampires who wanted pure blood. So I was like, yo, this is actually pretty.
He was a flexitarian.
It makes sense.
He would still have his human blood.
Oh, yeah.
But he just wouldn't take it from a live human.
So is that what we would call people who they claim they're vegan, but they really still do eat meat?
I would call that
okay.
Flexitarians.
I'm a flexitarian then, y'all. I'm a flexitarian.
For sure. Let me see. That was a really good question, babe. Now, just so we could still talk about the, psychological terror of the thing. What do you think the psychology is behind the fascination with horror? Horror. I can't say horror. Say horror.
Horror.
What's the fascination about horror? Everyone likes it.
I think that bear with me, y'all. We as humans have an innate curiosity to understand everything about ourselves and the world around us. Hence why we were so gifted to call our brain. Like, it named itself.
Yeah.
I think our curiosity with understanding everything is also us trying to not explain everything at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or like, horror is the unexplainable, even though we have been able to explain things using science and technology.
Yeah.
We still hold on to those old adages and beliefs because it was comforting for us. It helped make what was unknown known.
Yeah.
And even though we've quote unquote discovered almost everything we can imagine, horror still plays on those old tropes, those old beliefs of what we did not know and could not make sense of. And so it's relatable in that sense. Like, oh yeah, we all know this is not true, but it's good fiction. It's good, like, playing on our old beliefs and fears. So I think that's why people like horror.
And do you think the unknown's more terrifying than the known?
Yes.
Yeah, the unknown.
The unknown is always more terrifying than the known. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. The unknown is more terrifying. Yeah.
Thank you, babe, for that answer there.
Well, do you think the unknown is more terrifying than the known in your perspective?
Maybe. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. I think it would be more exciting. I guess it depends on who the person is.
So it's about perspective, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes to paranormal things, it's very alluring, darkness and horror. It's an alluring feeling, and it's something that's been talked about in biblical times with even that apple and that, the snake.
And everything, yeah.
So it's like that curiosity has always been a thing of human nature. And sometimes I think it's alluring, but it's a spirit. It really is a spirit. And sometimes I believe if you indulge yourself in darkness for too long, it can take over. Because again, that goes to that yin yang balance. Because a lot of people do really love horror, like really bad. Like that's their thing. I'm like, hey, you like it? I love it. That's your business. But I need a balance here. And, it can go left sometimes because then you get these serial killers and all types of things like that.
That's the perfect segue. Here's my question then, because you're bringing it up. Do you think that fear can be addicting?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Because it's like, how like fear is false evidence appearing real, right? Sometimes it's like, I feel like for me.
Oh, wow. That's the acronym?
Yeah.
Wow.
False evidence appearing real. So like me, sometimes I could get stuck in the what if fear. Like, damn, if I don't do this, what if this happens? What if this happens? And I'm thinking of like, and it goes off into the full anxiety storm, right? But then also some people who are like scared to get on the roller coaster, but they're locked in and they're like, that coming up to the roller coaster up to the tip before you drop, that is like an accumulation of fear. And it's like adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? So some people are addicted to that type of fear, as in like the fear of the unknown, like what if it's going to happen? But they're just like daredevils kind of thing. But I do think it's addicting. It's kind of like, it reminds me of how people, it's like their sex drive and stuff like that, and adrenals. I think it's an adrenal based thing. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like it's connected in that way. So I think it can be addicting, for sure. Like people like that rush.
People's brain chemistry can be hot wired to now, because they're getting that adrenaline rush, that dopamine hit. They seek it out more. Hence why some people like horror more. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. I also feel like society and the media will associate certain things with other things to specifically incite fear, to like stop people from doing stuff.
Talk about it.
Yeah, like for instance, an example that I think of in my life is I noticed when Obama became president during the 2010s, there was like, and also how social media became social media.
Yeah.
I started to see more shootings of Black men by police officers, more than I've ever seen in my life. And I used to watch, we just talked about in our last episode, watching Fox. We used to watch Cops and Mad TV.
Oh,
Bad boys. What you finna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Yeah, and I would usually see a good mix of white, Hispanic, or Black, rarely Black, on the Cops episodes. So growing up, I never had a fear of the cops like hurting someone of color. I would always see the cops as someone I call when I'm in danger and just to help, which that is their role, because not every cop is out here killing us.
But now it's shifted.
But yeah, because of social media and how it highlighted it so much, it may not have even be happening in record numbers, so we think, but because we've seen it so much, there is now a underlying fear that's been created towards police, towards like, from the Black community, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it's obviously, we know our history and stuff like that, but I feel sometimes certain things are put in place to make sure that certain fears are pushed, or even like the fear when it comes to grocery shopping and eating organic versus conventional, all the chemicals, especially like the strong vegan communities that push like, oh, we shouldn't be eating meat because of the cancers, which some of this stuff is really factual true. Fuck the FDA. They don't care about us like that. Big Pharma, come on. But it's like, we have so much news and so much thing, and there's just so much fear out there. Sometimes people are just living in anxiety. And then now with this election, there's all types of rhetoric coming out. And honestly, people are just afraid that they won't be able to have their homes and feed their children. Like, fuck all this racism shit. Put that shit aside. People are afraid of how they're going to survive, how they're going to live, and how they're going to be able to set up their families for the future. People don't even want to go to school anymore because they're costing them a rack just to end up and look for a job and can't pay that shit back. And now they're in debt. And, they can't go and buy their houses. They can't start their families. They're paying back this debt, but can't get a job with the degree that they just went in debt for. Like, people are scared. So yeah, fears. I rambled.
It's okay, because no, that leads into the last question I want to ask, because like, that was so profound. I feel like you're going to answer this question, but I'll ask it anyway.
Gotcha.
Do you think that horror as a genre can now have the same power as a social commentary as other genres? Do you think that it can be used that way?
What do you mean?
So like, when I think of horror commenting on social issues, I think of Jordan Peele and the power that he's done with Get Out, or things like that. Yeah,
Jordan Peele's a prime example of it factual, because it's like, it's taking the same genre of horror, but it's doing a message. And even all these other horror movies. I'm not a big horror fan because of my religious background. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch certain ones, and also I don't like the feeling of being scared like that.
Of course, like
my spirit doesn't like it. But usually, like we said earlier, these villains usually start off as victims and they transition into these horrible things, like But yeah, I guess I don't think I really answered it that well, but Jordan Peele was a great example.
If I could tie it in, I would definitely say, I think like any type of fiction, it can serve the purpose of commenting on larger issues like racism, sexism, and it can really be a place for people to find solace or find camaraderie with others who think like themselves in order to make sense of what's going on around them, for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. I think we're gonna close out this spooky dookie doo episode.
At least we didn't get the Scooby Gang on here, because Scrappy would have had to been house trimmed before he walked in this piece.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Babe, I just thought about it. We should be Scooby Doo for Halloween again. We should have wore our costumes today. I didn't think about that.
It's all good.
Aww. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. This was a very eerie and scary Scooby-Doo episode. This is not even Scooby-Doo.
Halloween
theme. Dias de la Muertos. I don't know. Scary Dairy. I'm just saying random things.
I noticed, but you know what? Let's sign off. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's close out season 1 with a banger. Happy Halloween, y'all.
Happy Halloween.